Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm Mr. Muhammad Khalid, and it is week 16, lectures 31 and 32. Our today's topic is foreign policy of Pakistan and the relations with the international world. Dear students, in this discussion, we'll talk about definition and components of the foreign policy, internal and external determinants of the foreign policy of Pakistan, critical analysis of the foreign policy of Pakistan, relations with Islamic world, and relations with the world powers. Dear students, the word foreign policy in Urdu we express Kharja Hikmat Amli is a very important topic included in Pakistan studies because a country's existence, integrity, progress and prosperity is not simply emerge from within the country, but also a country have to be proactive in sustaining relations with the other nations. A country is just like our own house, our own family. Living in a street or locality, we develop relations with neighbors, with friends, so that they may assist us, they may help us in trouble, in times of dire needs, and obviously they do. Similarly, just like human beings, our country or state does have enemies, opponents, who are all the time to crush that state or at least put her under pressure. Actually, the human history is full of conflicts. So, this conflict between human beings and between states and nations is quite natural. The rise of one state is obviously the downfall of the others. Well, foreign policy is, in simple manner, a program or a set of strategies, principles, and contracts or agreements that a country executes with the other nations or with the other regions to protect her interest linked with the other nations. In simple words, a foreign policy are those principles chalked out by the experts and the authorities of state who vision the needs of the state and the interests, and likewise they sustain relationships with the other countries. This approach is called foreign policy, and it is not a new thing. Since the human beings started establishing kingdoms, they had developed relations with the other nations. Likewise, We are living in subcontinent, and here are the Indus Valley civilization, the Gandhara civilization, and this civilization had very strong links with the other nations in Persia. I mean, at that time Persia, present day Iran, with Chinese through the Silk Route, okay, with Iraq, I mean Babylonian civilization, and even the impact of these civilization and the relationship would reach to Egypt and finally to the Greece. Herodotus was a great Greece uh, historian and traveler who came to these regions. He studied their culture and he mentioned this region in golden words in his books. Likewise, Sheikh Ibn Battuta, he came here and in reign of Sultan Muhammad Tughlaq, and from here he went to China. So we find that the people had the relations, and most probably, and you're clear that Alexander, right from Macedonia, Greece, conquered Iran, entered into India, reached till Delhi. So there have been agreements, there have been fighting, there have been relationships with these nations and civilizations. And interestingly, this region on which Pakistan now consists is full of up and downs of the history. Here are so many people from various regions came, they established strong governments, fine, and still now the region is the center of international conflicts and international power struggle. Well, the word foreign policy became significant in 19th century, because till 19th century or in the start of the 20th century, the world was dominantly controlled by few international powers, and they were mostly the colonialists. For example, number one, England was capturing and had captured most of the lands. For example, almost complete subcontinent was under the British. African regions were under the British. Canada, Australia, and means numerous islands and small destinations were completely under the British throne. Second, France had captured most of the land in the Sahara Desert and the North African countries. What had the Spain had a strong culture and control over the Latin America, and then in the middle was Great Ottoman Empire, which had covered almost the Middle East, many countries from the Central Asia plus the Europe, and all the relationship and the fightings would happen between these countries. Plus, Americans had a very great or influential uh, position among these nations. But the First World War came to be a complete destruction for most of the nations, notably for the Ottoman Empire. Western conspiracies resulted in breaking the Ottoman Empire into pieces, like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, Bosnia Herzegovina, and many other countries came under uh, came to depart from the Ottoman empires, and there were new nations emerged, new kingships emerged. They settled their boundaries. They differentiated their slogans. National anthems were generated. Armies were established, and so the broad realm was chopped into pieces. Second time in 1945, when the Second World War was over and England came to be winner, but England became loser perpetually because it had to lose control over all its colonies. For example, India was the biggest colony. He had to leave India, and the country was almost divided into six or five or six countries. For example, Pakistan, India, and Sri Lanka, Myanmar, these countries born out of the British India. Well, and in the other later years, France or the French had to leave much of the North African countries, and slowly till 80s, many of the lands of the world were free, and now on the earth there are almost over 200 or at least 196 independent states. They all to they all together make uh, international community. The students, here the role of foreign policy came to very much influential, because the stage of rivalry was changed. Clear? As I told you in the beginning, that these countries were part of the huge empires. But when these empires broken into pieces, then new countries emerged. And these broken pieces became hostile to one another. They became enemy of one another. And that's how they required different kind of things, like they attacked one another. They wanted to capture more lands. They want to uh, launch genocide. Clear? And then a struggle started. Every portion wanted to save herself, wanted to keep alive the integrity and the status, wanted to protect the lands and the people, wanted to get rid of the influence, and that's why they required the assistance, aid of the other countries in terms of weapons, training, finance, political and cultural assistance, education and technical opportunities. Well, let's for example, when Pakistan and India got freedom, they both become hostile to one another. India didn't like Pakistan at all. They never accepted. And right from 1947 till the moment, Pakistan had fought many wars. For example, 1947, 1948, 1965, 1971, 1984, and 1999, the Kargil War. Okay, and there are other so many standoffs that have been happened between India and Pakistan. Well, India had right in the beginning a very close ally, Russia. Russia helped India in all the times. He was quite a seasoned friend of Indians. They provided them weapons, provided them technical assistance. Russia stood at the back of India in all international matters, and resultantly, we had faced huge losses from India, from Russia in 1965, and in 1971 the loss of Bangladesh. Clear? Well, in this given situation, Pakistan had to incline towards a great power, something that could assist, someone could help out Pakistan against the two huge countries like India and Russia. And that was obviously Americans. Americans provided Pakistan with weapons, technical assistance, education, and many other things. However, Pakistan had to bear huge losses in this saga of friendship, and Pakistan became very vulnerable on many occasions. But we had no other option left. Clear? As I was hitting the point that foreign policy is a very important factor in existence, developing, progress and prosperity of the country. They are self-interested strategies to safeguard the national interests and to achieve own goals through relations with the other countries. Notably, in this era of globalization, where every country is connected through satellite, there is a shared culture, languages, regions, religions are no more a barrier for the people. Everybody is interested in the happening of the other countries. Thereby, a peaceful, cooperative principle and strategy to sustain relations in trade, finance, human rights, environment, and cultural issues, and above all, in the very present time, to combat with terrorism and the infectious diseases like COVID-19. Foreign policy plays a very vital role. Thank you very much.